Hi Casey, this is Rebecca with your assignment one, modernist travel poster critique. So Denmark was such a great subject to choose. It's always very colorful and you can't go wrong with tulips and windmills as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really glad that you chose this country to represent for your travel poster. I think you did some really neat, had some really neat design decisions like this cool gradient in the sky. It's just really neat. I mean, it's just a great idea to break up this whole what could be just a giant block of blue. So that was pretty smart. I really like where you were going there. As well as your pyramid. I mean, your windmill looks really good. It's demonstrates that you know how to use the pen tool a little bit, so that's good. Um, I also really like this kind of radiating lines that are happening a little bit. I think that if these lines went up instead of tilted down, that it would kind of add to the diagonals that you've got going on. So that's just something to keep in mind. And it would add to the perspective as well. It would just make it make a little more sense that way. So there's a few things that need some improvement. Number one, this piece is not the dimensions that were specified on the assignment specs, as well as you strayed from the color palette that was also assigned. So that's something that I really need you to pay attention to. The instructions are, it's really important to me that you grasp the instructions because clients are even more picky than I am. So that's something that I have to kind of enforce as a graphic design instructor. So, there's no hot pink in there, so yeah. Okay. You get what I'm telling you. Also, this assignment was to demonstrate a strong grasp of the pen tool. And unfortunately, I see that you used a paintbrush a lot to make all of these tulips. And I'm sure it was a huge time saver. But that wasn't what the assignment was calling for. So, it was a great idea, and I think that as a time saver on a different assignment, it would have been a really great solution. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see you trace the tulips with the pen tool. You could have traced a few of them and then copied them and went ahead and duplicated them throughout the rest of the piece and shrunk their scale to help with this perspective throughout here. That's totally something you could have done to save time as well. And I think that it wouldn't have been quite so gestural and kind of impressionistic. It would have been like more photorealistic, and it would have represented the actual tulips better. Right now, you can't really tell that these are tulips. And so thank goodness you have a windmill here and the word Denmark, of course, but I mean the windmill helps us place where we are. But if these tulips were more recognizable as actual tulips, then which they would have been if you used the pen tool, then it really would have driven this poster home. So also, when you're making these pieces, pay attention to some of the goofy things that can happen in Illustrator, like this white strip over here. What's that all about? And over here, this white chunk, because this tan piece didn't make it all the way to bleed to the edge. And then there's some weird stuff going on over here. I don't know if those were hiding something, or you noticed that there was a white border and you tried to fill it in with some flowers. Wow. Okay, so go ahead and just drag this big old background chunk, this big green piece, extend it out past your artboard, okay? And I don't know if this is like an intentional mountain or if it just got in there somehow. So, if things are intentional, then make them appear intentional, okay? Like maybe add a few more mountains or something along that line. So these are just things to keep in mind as you move forward. You're welcome to redo this piece and resubmit it for a higher grade, demonstrating that you do have a really strong grasp of the pen tool. I'm totally okay with that. As an instructor, as a teacher, I've got to see that you understand this tool because it is imperative to learning Illustrator. It's one of the most important tools, if not the most important tool in Illustrator. So I've got to see that you know how to use it and know how to use it well. If the class is too fast and you just don't have time to redo this piece, it's no problem. I totally understand that as well. So I just want to give you the opportunity to take another stab at it if you'd like that. So, all right, we'll keep moving forward with these good ideas. Try to pay attention to the specific assignment requirements in the future as well. And I can't wait to see what you bring next. Thank you.